I did not like breathe into the mic like I always do on a daily basis. Or like chuckle after everything I do. Like I'm actually funny. I'm gonna scream. I did it without even meaning to. Don't do it, Jacob. Immediately does it. Hey, what is up guys? Jukem here. Welcome back to another video where we're gonna do something a little different. Recently I opened up a Q&A on Reddit and we're gonna answer some questions. If I can hold my phone correctly. Getting right into it, starting off with PND Mike. If you could add any Pokemon to Pokken as a new playable character, who would you add? Well, one sec. Very important. This is the boy, the lad, the legend, the wonder. Oh, it won't focus on him. I'm gonna scream. But yeah, I want Cinderace, because Cinderace is a really cool Pokemon, and we don't have a Gen 8 started yet. But yeah, Cinderace is a really cool Pokemon. He's like become one of my favorites. He's like my fourth favorite behind like Reptile and Pokkén and Lucario, but just like, it is so cool. It's just cool fire rabbit that kicks up fireballs. You'd be so cool like as an item play character if you could do like all the different types of like headbutt moves and like the ball moves like Electro Ball, Gunshot, Pyro Ball obviously. I think it would just be so cool, like just an item play character. Like I even thought about like using court change, like you could change the angle of like the projectile that you kick, just like so Pyro Ball goes at that angle, and then as soon as you do like court change, it just goes like straight down and like falls onto the opponent. I thought it would just be so cool. First Shadowcat for saying Lapunny when he won Players Cup, because now they're gonna add the wrong rabbit. That's right, I said the wrong rabbit. You hearing me, Shadowcat? What is, in your opinion, holding Pokken back from being bigger than it currently is? Great Christian from Hey. I just realized I gotta actually pronounce people's names right. But yeah, Pokken's held back a bit, mostly from all the way back then. It started on Wii U, and it starting on Wii U did not help it, because Wii U was obviously a terrible console. Just gonna say that right now. Like, naming wise, terrible. They were like, U is a good letter that's gonna represent a lot of stuff, like for high-tech stuff. And then they were like, oh no, it's just stupid sounding. No, but also just because not only was Wii U like holding it back, but then Evo happened and the grand finals was not spectacular. Like if you knew the game, you might have been like, oh yeah, it's cool, but like from just a like perspective of someone who's never picked up the game, it's like, this is what Pokken is. This is what Pokken is. And it's just two zoners. Well, Brix is not so much a zoner, but like back then she was kind of played like a zoner, especially with the slow animation with Yveltal not helping her case at all for being like because she's a cool character, but it's just that did not help her because everything was so slow, especially with Suicune in the mix too. Suicune in the mix did not help at all, but yeah, those two moments like are the biggest hindrances. You can even say that needing two consoles for Pokken for like any setup is holding it back at least a little bit, because you have to double like all your switches, or we used back then. Like it didn't help out back then, it's still not helping out back now. I guess the one benefit to like being online mostly right now is that only one person needs their one console and it's from far away. But like at live events, it's just kind of like, if we don't have enough setups, it's really, really difficult in order to just like get all the matches scheduled on time. I don't TO at all. I can only imagine it being pretty painful for like whenever that happens for an event. Ooh, is this one about Muteta? Muteta has said in an interview that you were the definition of someone who is confident in his actions. In your words, what does that translate to in this game? Great question, Lepitaga. Hopefully, I feel bad. By what he means by someone who has full confidence in like any of their actions when playing a set, that just means like having no fear at all. Like I am just not afraid at doing anything. Even if it's like the biggest risk for like the smallest rewards, I would do that. Like if I'm in my opponent's head like that much, I'd be like, yeah, this is definitely going to work in this situation right now. And the greatest example honestly for that is like all the like raw Lee Storms I land, all those random Azuna drops that just land. I'm like, I know you're going to jump. I'm going to risk so much with this Lee Storm, and then I'm going to grab you no matter what. You are going to get grabbed. It doesn't help that people can't punish Lee Storm in the first place, but you know what? It's still a big risk on paper. I'm doing this a lot. I don't know why. It doesn't even show up on the camera. I'm stupid. But yeah, it's just when it comes to me, when I play any like sort of like fighting game, I love the movement characters, and those characters like have amazing like options that you could do for like risky situations. And I use those to my full advantage, and I'm just not scared of doing it at all. Like, I'll just do, like, a move that is, like, super minus in your face. Like, for Sceptile, when I throw, like, my Leech Seeds down, and I, like, use it for movement, for, like, 5 different cross-ups at the same time, and I'm just like, you're not gonna be able to punish me, you're gonna try to punish me, and you're gonna get hit. It also helps that I can just spam detect and be like, I can't get hit at all. But as like a general point of view, if you're looking for that, definitely it's just someone, like I said, who's just fully confident in what they're doing in any given time in the set, and not fearing at all about the consequences. And if you have that, like, if you have that zero fear, like if you're that confident, you're definitely gonna get those reads right a lot of the time, because you don't hesitate. Hesitating is a big thing that happens a lot in for a lot of players in fighting games, because when you hesitate, it delays your actions. Obviously, you think about it, you're like, oh wait, I shouldn't, and then you immediately like try doing it, and your opponent's already ready. Like they'll see you walk up, like you could walk up, wait a sec, and then your opponent will be like, okay, you wait a sec, and then they're kind of like more ready, and then you do your hard read, and then they're just blocking, and then they punish you, or something along those lines. Basically, just someone who is perfect. Like me. Jinra X8 asks, do you play Tekken? If so, what character do you focus on? Pokken was my introduction to the FTC, and I thought that I'd dive deeper into the genre. I'm not a Tekken. I feel bad. It's just like a flat out no that I don't play Tekken. I think Tekken's really fun to watch though. Sometimes I'll just watch it on the, like, if I'm really, really bored. But I do really appreciate the developers in this game putting like all the different type of Tekken moves, and I like, whenever I learn a new one, like a move in Pokken that was from Tekken, I think it's really cool. I don't play it, like I said, but like, it's just really, really cool. Like, I only just realized that Empoleon has a move from, I forgot his name, but it's like the move where you like a lunge, like, oh, and then he goes like, oh wait. But yeah, I don't play Tekken. I do think the game is really, really cool, and it's definitely really, really amazing how many like Tekken-inspired moves made into Pokken in different ways, and they're all still like super unique in that regard too. I feel for a lot of characters. It's One Shot is asking about my least favorite Pokken matchup. Basically, any grappler at all. I do not give a crap. I hate every type of grappler in any game. That includes Pokken. So basically, the two biggest characters in that are Libre and Machamp. Mostly Machamp. I know most people would be like, I hate Libre, but Machamp like deals a million damage and has a lot of health in order to get in. It also doesn't help that Wingtide beat my ass a few thousand times and I have war flashbacks about it. But yeah, it's just like, especially with Machamp, I'm like, I'm in the corner now, and I'm going to die, even if I was outplaying him the entire time. And it's just like, my characters, I think they win the matchup. It's just when I get in the corner, and suddenly I can't guess right anymore. Usually I'm really good at guessing right. But then it's just like, ram. And I'm like crying, because I'm trying to just get out of the corner for free with my jump, because Reptile can jump. But then he's like, what if I did my 2Y? I don't know if you guys know, but his 2Y is a low and a high. That's frame 11, the fastest in the game. And it just like, it's completely safe, and it makes me want to cry, especially since Reptile has no I-11. And it doesn't help that his JX is just like the ultimate move to keep you in the corner, which is also plus, and counter armored. What a great move on this character. What a great design choice. And then two of his command grabs just have no phase shift points, and he can just reverse phase shift points with Wake Up Slap. It makes me very angry. I know I'm not like sounding like it right now at the moment, but like I am very infuriated right now. Our beloved Burnside BH asks, what would you say was the most important event of your career before winning Worlds? I was about to say, just be like, Worlds. What about after that? And why not? And why for both? Hope you're having a nice holiday. Thanks, you too. Hope everyone's having a nice holiday. I'm having a nice day because this is probably going to come out on my birthday. If all things go right, if I'm not lazy editing. Yeah, definitely the most important event of your career before winning Worlds. Oh, what was it called? Was it CEO? I think it was CEO 2017. That was the one where I beat TJ, who was another Reptile main back, like an old school Reptile main. And he was the Reptile I looked up to the most. I know there was Bim, but like I talked with TJ more, so it was just like, though even if Bim was considered like better than TJ, I definitely was like more like looking up to TJ. And that was the event where I beat him, and it was also the start of my Leaf Storm propaganda, where Leaf Storm shall hit everything that jumps into the air. You will jump whether you want to or not, and you will get hit by my Leaf Storm. But yeah, that was the start of that. Basically, it was a really good event to just start off like doing well against other top players. But yeah, before winning Worlds, it's either that or my first actual tournament win, which was NorCal Regionals. That was actually the year I did win Worlds, so it was just like a branch of like giant consistency. That made no sense, but I'm going to roll with it anyway. But yeah, after winning Worlds, definitely Frostfire 2020. I know most people know me from my Reptile, but in that event, I went entirely Empoleon, and I always considered Empoleon my co-main. Not my secondary, my co-main. I obviously say that because I care about both characters, and I use them whenever I just feel like it. Like, even if it's the same matchup, it's like I flip a coin of whether I'm gonna go with Reptile or Empoleon. Like, I had to deal with Lucario, Pikachu Libre, Darkrai, both of the Mewtwo's, and I was just like, you know what, I am very, very comfortable with just going Empoleon all the way, and I wasn't even, like, intending to do that. I was just, like, going that, and it was the first time that Empoleon's won event, like, single-handedly, and I didn't even, like, dodge, like, bad matchups or, like, bad, like top players. Like, I was fighting Shadowcat and Mutator. Definitely a really big event for me, just because it just proved to myself that Empoleon does work, and I can do a lot better with him. There was an event before where I was trying to use Empoleon, like, solo, but it didn't turn out as well. I still made top 8, which is really good, but I was, like, trying to force it when I shouldn't have, especially in matchups like Weavile. That matchup is pretty bad. I probably would switch to Sceptile for that matchup. But, like, in general, it's just, like, it meant a lot. And that was just a really fun event, like, afterwards. I remember some stories about losing Shadowcat after we got Beaver Tails. If you guys don't know what Beaver Tails is, look it up. They're really good. If you ever go to Canada, I should recommend getting that. Ellipsis Randon asks, favorite reptile? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, what makes you think I like reptiles? No, but seriously, I love all types of lizards. I just retweet so much on twitter.com. It's just so, they're all so cute. I can't help it. But if I were to pick, like, one that was, like, my favorite, like, any type of gecko, or, like, I especially, like, on Twitter, seeing, like, the Asian water monitors, they're, like, having your own mini dinosaur. And I'm like, I want that. I want it. I'm never gonna get it, probably, but I want one. You have no idea how cute it is. It's so cute. I'm just such a big nerd for, like, lizards, especially those monitors. I'm just, like, on Twitter, I'm just, like, instant retweet whenever I find one, especially if it's just, like, climbing on things or just, like, eating. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. I'm such a nerd. I am so sorry. But it's just, they're just so cute. I can't help it. Flareon Level X asks, what do you do to practice the game, and what do you suggest to improve? Honestly, for me, when it came to me personally about how to practice the game, I kind of just, like, rolled with it. I played on ranked a lot. I'm not sure if I would recommend that now, but, like, for any beginner, ranked is probably a good place to start. But, like, to continue improving, I kind of just, like, kept going on ranked over and over again. And I got, like, experience just through fighting other players back to back to back. I'm not so much a guy who studies frame data. I do know some things about frame data, and I have a general idea of, like, what's minus, what's not minus. I don't so much practice the game. It's more so I just practice by playing other people. Not so much going into training mode or studying some things on a frame data sheet. Mostly just playing other people. And I feel like that can help with a lot of people, but I know not everyone's different. So if those things do help, definitely, like, do the studying. Definitely go in training mode, test out what you can do. There's some things you can think that you don't think about, like for certain moves that you could do in certain situations. Like, so, like, for Empoleon, there's just, like, a lot of, like, he has a lot of moves, so, like, thinking of new ways to use those moves in certain situations or certain combo routes, it's super interesting. And I definitely recommend trying to find those. But the game's really figured out at this point. There's still a lot to figure out still, but, like, it's really, really still figured out. But, you know, new eyes can, like, find new things in the game, and I recommend trying to find what your character can do. Even if you find something that's already, like, been shown in the game, you discovering that by yourself is really, really good, and if it helps you a lot. Like, if you learn it and then you use it, you're just gonna do really well. A general thing that people can improve upon, though, is how they handle, like, the phase shift points, or PSP for short. Basically just the points that determine when Duel Phase goes back into Field Phase. There's a lot of moments where people wouldn't realize how much PSP they have, and then a combo that they're in the middle of ends, like, prematurely because they had no idea and couldn't get, like, a better finisher off at that time. So I do think that's something certain, like, newer players could improve upon on. Like I mentioned before, if you were to go into training mode and not just test it, definitely figure out, like, what moves, after, like, using a certain amount, go into the phase shift, and see what moves you can combo into that can maximize the amount of damage you can get before that phase shift. Most of those combos are basically your optimals, but it's still good to figure out in situations where you only get some PSP on the opponent and need to know what move to do to get a lot more damage than you would normally. For an easy way to understand this, imagine you're playing Lucario and your opponent has 7 PSP on them because you did a failed combo with your 8Y anti-air into your bonerish upswing, and then failed the follow-up right after. Now imagine right after, you do a charge 6x, and your opponent gets hit by it. 6x is 3 PSP, so that would bring them at 10 PSP at the moment. Now normally, a Lucario player would want to do an upwards bone rush swing because that would continue the combo, but because you would reach 12 PSP at that point, it's better to do the downward swing because that does more damage. Little stuff like that can make your combos more optimized, and it's a great way to just be more aware about PSP in the game in general. Ooh, hopefully I'm pronouncing this one right. Spaz Sapin My Centre asks, how do you practice a new character? Basically, Pokken's tutorials are really good, not just for understanding the game, but they have really good move tutorials, combo tutorials, just to get a general feel of each character in the game. Like, some of their, like, combo tutorials for certain characters are really good, and actually are combos you probably would use. Like, they're like the basic combos, but they're still really good combos to, like, considering it's, you know, the basic combo. Definitely do that. I know I mentioned I don't really go into training mode much, but it is good if you're learning a new character to try training mode and just see what you can do. Just practice, experiment, look up the guides, kind of simple stuff like that. I don't mean to be like very like bland with that response, but this just like there's a reason why it's a bland response. This is a really good thing to do, and I highly recommend doing all that type of stuff. Move tutorial, all that stuff. Really good stuff to do. And the final question for today by Comboster. So, what percentage of people are not subscribed to your YouTube channel? Well, I'll have you know. Wait, give me a second to look it up. But yeah, did you guys know that 44 point... Wait, this is more than 100. I have 100% in one because of the way it's split. Subscribed 44.1% and 56%. That's 101%. Thank you, YouTube Analytics. You are so great. No, but did you guys know that 56 of you guys are not subscribed? Please like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Please follow me on Twitter and please accept my Switch friend request. I would really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much. I hate you, Comboster, for doing this question. You were just voice calling and he was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, please don't. And then he did it anyway. I'm like, you had one job, dude. No, but like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video is probably all over the place. It's my first time doing like an actual like recording, like a live type of stuff. There's probably gonna be lots of cuts, but I hope you guys all appreciate that. Thank you so much. I have been growing a little fast recently, and I appreciate you guys so much. Have a great day, guys. Actually, not jokingly, please like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. I hate my life.